30 seconds. When you're ready.
And Your Honor, is it okay if I proceed from the podium? Will the court be able to hear me?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. We have a media microphone on the podium, correct? Okay, all right. When you're ready.
Good morning, Ms. Owens.
Good morning.
You understand that you're currently under oath and must testify truthfully today, correct?
Correct.
You understand the difference between the truth and the lie, right?
Obviously, yes.
And you would agree with me that fabricating or doctoring evidence is dishonest and unreasonable behavior, right?
Right.
And you're aware that lying under oath is a crime in the state of Arizona, correct?
Correct.
And the reason I'm asking you these questions, Ms. Owens, is because I've cross-examined you before, right?
Right.
I cross-examined you in the injunction against harassment for offenses on November 2nd of 2023, right?
Right.
And during this hearing, you'd recall that I gave you the opportunity to correct the record and come clean about any false information or testimony you may have provided, right?
Right.
And you told me you had nothing to correct, right?
Correct.
And then you proceeded to lie to the court.
Objection. Argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You testified that you were 100% pregnant on November 2nd, correct?
Correct.
And you testified that you were 24 weeks pregnant specifically.
Correct.
I'd like you to take a look at your Exhibit A11, please.
She's got them in front
I
of
can see. Yeah.
Ms. Owens, this appointment that you attended at Mom Doc on November 14th of 2023 was 12 days after I cross-examined you, right?
Correct.
And during that cross-examination, I pointed out that you had no legitimate medical records to support the pregnancy, right?
I mean, you said that, but I don't agree with it. No.
At this appointment, Ms. Owens, it was confirmed that you were not pregnant, correct?
Correct.
These Mom Doc records also indicate that you were diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, right?
I've had that since I was 17. Yes.
Okay. And you'll recall at the hearing on November 2nd, I specifically questioned you about any physical health diagnoses that you had, right?
I don't remember, but if you say so, then yes.
You failed to testify that you had PCOS, right?
I can't say one way or the other if I did or didn't. I'll take your word for it, but it's not something that I live with daily.
You also failed to tell me that in 2016, Doctors Chan and Yi diagnosed you with cancer and apparently removed one of your ovaries.
They did not.
Okay. So as you sit here today, you're denying that.
I will absolutely deny that that happened.
Now, per what you reported, what you self-reported to the Mom Doc, they listed a spontaneous abortion date of August 12th of 2023 at 8 weeks pregnant, correct?
They listed a lot of things that were inaccurate here. I never told them that I had an abortion that date.
Okay, well, the spontaneous abortion, if I were to tell you, is consistent with a miscarriage. Would you agree with me that they listed a miscarriage date of August 12th of 2023 at 8 weeks pregnant?
Yes, but I also never was pregnant in 2019, so I don't know where that came from.
And Ms. Owens, based on what you know about pregnancy, as someone who's allegedly been pregnant 3 or 4 times in the past, you miscarried at 8 weeks pregnant. That wouldn't line up with your alleged conception date with Mr. Echard, would it?
I don't know, and I'm telling you, I never told them that I was 8 weeks pregnant and lost that on August 12th.
In your Mom Doc record, and also in your deposition, self-reported that you passed 2 sacs which appeared to have a membrane, correct?
Correct.
And I'd like you to take a look at what we marked as Exhibit 49, which is your deposition transcript. And Ms. Owens, you recall sitting for a deposition on March 1st of 2024, correct?
Correct.
And your counsel at the time following that deposition was provided with a copy of this transcript as well as you, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't take any opportunity to correct this transcript?
I actually didn't see it until you guys sent it to us. My former counsel never showed this to me. So
Okay. Well, you're aware that this has been marked as a copy of your deposition transcript for March 1st of 2024, correct?
correct.
And this is a true and accurate copy of the transcripts that you received, correct?
From your office, yes. I did not get one prior to that.
I move for the admission of Exhibit 49, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Is that A or B, counsel? I apologize.
I guess it would be, Your Honor.
B49 is received.
And Ms. Owens, during your deposition, specifically on page 149, lines 18 through 21, you testified that you started spotting, meaning you were having a light period in August or September, correct?
I wasn't having a light period. I didn't end up getting a period until November.
Well, in your
I said
deposition-
light spotting, but sorry. I said light spotting, but that wasn't a period.
In your deposition, page 151, line 24, you claim you passed the 2 sacs, which appeared to have a membrane in September or October, correct?
Correct.
But in the Mom Doc records, you claim you passed the 2 sacs a few weeks after your alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood, right?
Several weeks after.
There's an inconsistency there, right?
Right. I wasn't sure what the date was.
No OBGYN or qualified medical professional conducted an ultrasound or performed a physical examination or performed a blood test to confirm your alleged pregnancy on or before August 1st of 2023, right?
Wrong.
Okay, let's talk about that, because I suspected you would answer that this way. You claim that you had an alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood in Southern California, correct?
Correct.
And you testified during your deposition that the alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood was in Mission Viejo, California on July 7th of 2023,
Mhm.
right?
I did say it was there. That's where I was staying at the time, in Mission Viejo.
While being examined by your attorney, Mr. Ingris, you said that you went to Planned Parenthood under a fake name,
Right.
But you didn't bother to provide our office with the alleged name that you went to Planned Parenthood under, right?
Right.
And you knew that we were seeking your records from Planned Parenthood specifically because of the alleged ultrasound that you had there, right?
Right.
So wouldn't it have made sense for you to provide our office with a copy or the name that you allegedly went to Planned Parenthood under?
I felt like the whole purpose of going to Planned Parenthood is to remain anonymous, and that's one of my protections.
I want you to take a look at Exhibit 28. Is this a true and accurate picture of the ultrasound you claim you received at Planned Parenthood in California on July of 2020?
That looks like it, yes.
I move to admit Exhibit 28, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
P28 is received.
And Ms. Owens, this ultrasound image does not say Planned Parenthood. It says SMIL, which I'll call SMILE for purposes of today, correct?
Correct.
And in your deposition, you admitted you altered this ultrasound picture to say SMILE instead of Planned Parenthood, right?
Correct.
And you admitted in your deposition to altering this picture on the Adobe Acrobat program at your house, right?
Correct.
During the deposition, you testified that the date listed here of July 7th of 2023 was correct and hadn't been edited by you, right?
Correct.
But you later admit that you lied about this July 7th ultrasound date, right?
Correct.
And you executed an affidavit on April 16th of 2024, claiming the correct date for this already doctored ultrasound was actually July 2nd of 2020, correct?
Correct.
So I want to get this straight, Ms. Owens. You initially claimed you had an ultrasound at Planned Parenthood on July 7th, which you doctored to say it was from SMILE, right?
Correct.
Then the story changes again, and you claim that the ultrasound image should actually be dated July 2nd of 2023, right?
Correct.
So you changed the date on the ultrasound from July 2nd to July 7th, correct?
Correct.
And you utilized this altered or fake ultrasound to try to convince Mr. Echard and the court and the media that you were pregnant with Mr. Echard's twins.
This was never submitted to the court.
You're aware that Planned Parenthood has no record of an ultrasound, correct?
Under my real name, yes, I'm aware.
And again, established you didn't provide our office with the name of your that you allegedly went to Planned Parenthood under, correct?
Correct.
You never attended an appointment with Planned Parenthood. So
Yes, I did.
you take a look at exhibit. This is a true and accurate copy of our request and response from Planned Parenthood regarding your records dated April 26th of 2024, correct?
Correct. I don't believe I've seen this, but I have no idea.
And counsel, I'm so sorry. I'll stop the clock like I've done for the others. We're going to give you a microphone because, as I anticipated, there was a problem picking up. We work with what we have, right? All right, go ahead. Thank you.
I'll ask that a question one more, Your Honor. Ms. Owens, exhibit 29 is a copy of our request and the response from Planned Parenthood regarding your records dated April 26th of 2024, correct?
Correct.
Move for the admission of exhibit 29, Your Honor.
Objection?
No objection.
P29 is received.
And while you've indicated today that you went to Planned Parenthood under a fake name, this letter actually indicates that you had scheduled an appointment for July 2nd, but that you failed to attend.
Correct.
It also indicates that the ultrasound image that you claimed was from Planned Parenthood was not from Planned Parenthood because it was not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice, right?
Not by the one in Mission Viejo. Correct.
Ms. Owens, these are yes or no questions. This document states that the ultrasound image you have claimed is from Planned Parenthood is not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice, right?
by that practice. But as they said, I could have been seen by another different entity.
Ms. Owens, you're well aware that this request covered all of Orange County and San Bernardino County.
It didn't cover Los Angeles, though.
So now you're saying you went to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So you're telling us you went to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles on the day of trial today.
Yes.
Okay. When did you go to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles?
Exactly when I said I went.
When was that?
July 2nd.
Okay. I'd like to go back to the 2 SACs you passed. So again, in your deposition, you claimed you passed them in September or October, right?
Yes.
But then you changed the date and claimed that you passed these 2 SACs on July 23rd of 2020, right?
Right.
And you actually had an appointment scheduled with Dr. McCool, who you claimed is your high-risk perinatologist, for July 24th of 2023, right?
Right. That I canceled days prior.
Okay, so you canceled that appointment,
Days prior.
and you rescheduled it to August 7th, right?
Yes, if that's the date that I did.
So wouldn't you agree with me that for someone who has had miscarriages in the past and who has an alleged high-risk pregnancy, it would be prudent to attend an in-person appointment shortly after passing 2 SACs?
Well, that's why I asked the doctors online.
Oh, and these are yes or no questions.
I'm
You're looking at your attorney, but you need
who's
to look at
shaking-
the question for me.
okay. Can you ask the question again?
Wouldn't you agree that as someone who has a high-risk pregnancy that allegedly passed 2 SACs on July 23rd of 2023, it would have been important for you to see your high-risk perinatologist immediately after that happening?
Well, that's why I that's why I immediately contacted telemedicine. It was at night.
You contacted a telemed provider instead of attending the appointment with your high-risk perinatologist.
It had already been canceled days prior.
So you had 4 appointments scheduled with Dr. McCool that you never attended, right?
Correct.
And you intentionally failed to attend those appointments because all of those appointments would have resulted in a medical record that stated you were not pregnant, right?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained to the form of the question, but you can ask the question in a different way.
I'll move on. Your Honor. During the November 2nd hearing, you denied that the DNA test results came back with little to no fetal DNA, right?
What?
During the November 2nd hearing,
I said that the test was
the question was on. During the November 2nd hearing, you denied that the DNA test results came back with little to no fetal DNA. So I see you continue.
no. I didn't. I never said it didn't. I said it came
I'm
back
confused.
inconclusive.
I'm confused about what date she's referring to. What
November 2nd.
November 2nd hearing?
November 2nd hearing.
Okay, again, before my time, so that's why I'm confused. I apologize.
Can you answer the question?
I said it was inconclusive and it was little to no fetal DNA. I never said it came back anything but that.
Okay, well today you've admitted that there was little to no fetal DNA, right?
I've never said there was anything else.
You also ordered and took a blood HCG test through any lab test now on October 16th of 2023, correct?
Correct.
And I'd like you to take a look at Exhibit 36, page 201. Actually, this has already been admitted, so we'll move past that. By the time of this test on November 16th, you had claimed you were previously seen at Banner, Planned Parenthood, Dr. McCool, Dr. Higley, and even Dr. Zeman, right?
Your Honor, objection. She misstated the date. She said September 16th, I believe. It's October
That
16th.
can be addressed and redirected.
I said that Dr. McCool's my doctor. I did not say that I had seen him. I said I had seen Dr. Higley and the rest. Correct.
We'll talk about Dr. Higley soon here, but your answer is would you like me to repeat the question, Ms. Owens?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to stand here because it seems like you're looking at Mr. Gingrich quite a bit for guidance.
No, I don't need guidance from my attorney. I know how to answer the questions.
By the time of your appointment for this test on October 16th of 2023, you claimed you were previously seen at Banner, Planned Parenthood, Dr. Higley, and even Dr. Z, right?
Yes.
But instead of going to any of those providers for this test, you went to an entirely new provider, correct?
I just went on my way home from taking the RavGen test, actually.
Yes or no questions?
Well, it wasn't a provider. It was a self-paid test. So
Okay, so you didn't go to any of your prior listed providers for this test, right?
correct.
By your own admission in your affidavit signed April 16th of 2024, this result of an HCG level of 102 was not consistent with pregnancy, right?
Objection misstates the testimony.
Overruled. You can answer.
Oh, can you say it again? I'm sorry.
By your own admission, the test result of 102 for the level for HCG is not consistent with a pregnancy.
Objection.
I
Go ahead.
I learned that it was.
You learned that it was consistent with pregnancy or was not consistent with pregnancy.
Well, the test results said anything above 4 was pregnant, so I thought 102 was pregnant, but then I learned it was not.
Okay, so you would agree with me that this is not
No, I wouldn't.
You doctored this particular test twice, Ms. Owens, correct?
I doctored the test once.
Okay, and when was that?
When I tried to send it to Dave Neal to get him to stop creating harassing videos at me,
And what amount did you doctor the HCG level to that?
it was like 102,000, I believe.
So can you pull up exhibit 17, page 113? Ms. Owens, you'll recognize this as it looks like the same test from October 16th, but it has an HCG level different than what you just indicated, and it says 131,902.
Okay.
correct?
Yes, that's
So you also doctored this test.
no, I didn't know what the number was that I had made it to.
Well, Ms. Owens, I agree with you. You doctored this test twice, one to say 102,000 and again to say 131,902, right?
I doctored it, I guess, to say 131,902.
As of October 17th, 2023, when you received this test result, you had reason to believe you were not pregnant, right?
Yes, after doing some research, yes.
Okay. But then you proceeded to lie under oath at hearings before this court on October 24th, October 25th, and November 2nd, correct?
That's not correct. No.
Instead of telling the truth, you tampered with this HCG test to increase the level and offered that as support for a pregnancy.
To a content creator, not to the court.
You also testified on November 2nd, unequivocally, that your OBGYNs were Dr. McCool and Dr. Higgins, right?
Right.
In fact, you went so far as to state that your main OBGYN is the perinatalist, Dr. McCool, right?
Correct.
You further testified on November 2nd that you had last seen Dr. Higley on last Friday, right?
Right.
You lied to the court when you made those statements.
I had the appointment scheduled, which you guys have.
Yes or no questions.
I know, but it needs to be answered. Correct. It needs to be answered. I had an appointment scheduled with him that I did not attend, but I did have an appointment scheduled.
Okay, so when you say you were seen by a doctor, that's not the same as having an appointment scheduled, correct?
Correct.
So we would agree that you were dishonest when you said you were physically seen by Dr. Higley the Friday before the November 2nd hearing.
Correct. That's a very minor thing.
Stop.
Yeah, really.
So
You know,
you've never been seen
I mean, if
by-
this is good, I'm not comfortable if the JFC crew is going to be having reactions, honestly.
Okay, I'm going to stop the clock at this time. Counsel, you ask questions. Ma'am, you answer the questions. I could ask the gallery to please keep your
I
reactions-
think I
I'm
can't.
still talking, ma'am. Keep your comments to a minimum or you will be asked to leave. Go ahead, counsel.
Ms. Owens, you've never been seen by Dr. McCool or Dr. Higley for any medical appointment, correct?
Correct.
And the records from Dr. McCool's office indicate that you made 4 appointments that you never attended, correct?
Correct.
And the records from Dr. Higley's office that we obtained indicate that they have no records for you from August 2020 through the present, right?
I'm sorry, you said Dr. Higley or Dr. McCool? Can I take a minute?
Can we have just a 5-minute recess?
Sure, at this time. No, go ahead. What were you going to say, counsel?
I'm just concerned about our time constraint. That's all, Your Honor. So,
Well, we factored in a 10-minute break, so what we'll do is we'll take it now. And then when we come back, there will be no further breaks, so that's just something for the parties to keep in mind. We'll stand in recess.
all right.
Witnesses that you are still under oath. Counsel, if your client would like to resume the witness stand.
A quick time check, Judge.
Sure. Petitioners at 29 minutes and 30 seconds, respondents at 22 minutes and 1 second.
Your Honor, thank you. Ms. Owens, you testified at the November 2nd hearing that you had a due date of February 14th of 2024, which is Valentine's Day, correct?
Correct.
But you don't have a single medical record to support that alleged due date, right?
No, I do. I was trying to say I do have a record. That's what I was told by Tamara Lister at Banner Health, was that it would be Valentine's Day.
And you're aware that the record that you provided from Banner does not indicate any due date, right?
It was in conversation with her as to when the due date would be.
These are yes or no questions. You're aware that the record you provided from Banner lists no such due date, right?
It can't be answered in a yes or no manner. I'm saying
Yes, no, or I don't know.
so then can you please repeat the question?
Ms. Owens, you're aware that the record from Banner that you provided, that your attorney just admitted into evidence, does not have an alleged due date of any kind on it, right?
Okay, then yes.
I want you to take a look at what's our Exhibit 17, page 110. And this is the same as your Exhibit A1. This is a picture you took of a portion of a page from Banner, correct?
Correct.
Where is the rest of the document, Ms. Owens?
Clayton had it.
I'm asking you, where is the rest of the document in this particular exhibit?
Um, I don't know, but there's nothing I was trying to hide from it. Clayton got the entire thing.
So do you recognize you've been accused of faking records in this case, right?
Yes.
And you expect the court to accept a picture of a portion of an alleged record?
You guys got the results yourselves, so
These are yes or no questions.
that's
Attorney
not
is going to have
fair.
an opportunity to conduct redirect examination, and you can elaborate then.
I mean, that's not fair. You guys know that you have the results of this that show the same thing, so I wasn't hiding anything here. That's not fair.
I have to move on, so I'd ask that the court find this non-responsive.
Court will designate it as non-responsive.
For someone who's been involved in court cases nonstop since at least 2016,
You know what? That's not accurate. I have not been involved nonstop
I'm
since
going to stop the
2016.
clock for a moment, and I'm going to remind the parties. Counsel, you ask a question, ma'am, you answer the question. Otherwise, we move into a different area that I don't think anyone wants to go into. Counsel, resume.
Ms. Owens, you have been involved in court cases since at least 2016, correct?
Nonstop, or are you saying since 2016? Can you just rephrase the question?
Answer the question as I've asked it. You've been involved in court cases since 2016.
No.
correct? Okay. This particular document, Exhibit A1, has 3 different types of highlighting on it, correct?
I see two.
And Isabel, if you can please pull our Exhibit 17, page 110. You'll see this is the same document, but I believe maybe when your office scanned it in, you can't see all the highlighting. So I'm going to show you ours. You see there's 3 different types of highlighting.
Yes.
And you highlighted this on the same Adobe Acrobat program that you used to alter the other records, correct?
This was the doctor highlighted point of care test results, and then I highlighted first trimester pregnancy and encounter for pregnancy test on my iPhone, but it wasn't Adobe Acrobat.
Okay, but you would agree with me, there's 3 different types of highlighting on this document, correct?
Yes.
And I want to talk to you about the date of this alleged HCG test. We can agree that a woman typically takes a pregnancy test when they miss their menstrual period, right?
Well, my case was different.
Ms. Owens, these are yes or no questions.
I think the answer depends. I don't get a period, so I don't know how to answer that.
Okay, so you don't get a regular period.
I don't.
So you took this test before even missing a period, right?
Correct.
And between 2014 and the present, you have alleged that you were pregnant by 4 different men, correct?
Correct.
And all 4 of those men told you, one way or another, that they believed you fabricated those pregnancies, right?
The first was not so specific about that.
And 3 of them are here today, right?
Correct.
And they also believe that you doctored medical records, right?
Objection foundation.
Sustained.
I'll move on, Your Honor. Ms. Owens, each time that one of these 3 men refused to be in a relationship with you and questioned your pregnancy narrative, you obtained an order of protection against them, right?
False.
Okay, well, you have an order of protection against Mr. Greg Gillespie, correct?
Correct.
And he didn't believe that you were ever pregnant with his child, right?
No, that's wrong. He had me. I went to a doctor. He told me I needed to go to the specific doctor to confirm the pregnancy, which I did. Who spoke to
Okay,
him?
stop. I'm striking that response. The court reporter has been very clear. Everyone's talking over each other for appellate purposes, and the fact that one of the parties is paying for the court reporter. Implore you, please, to talk one at a time. With regards to the objection, it's overruled. Go ahead, counsel.
Your Honor, I'll move on in the interest of time. Ms. Owens, you didn't file an affidavit of financial information in this case, did you?
I did.
When did you file that?
August or September. It's with the court.
Okay.
It's on the record.
Well, consistent with your deposition testimony and your April 16th affidavit, you would agree with me that you make approximately $200,000 a year and then have approximately $500,000 in like a money market account, right?
I don't have $500,000 in a money market account.
Okay, but you would agree with me that you make approximately $200,000 a year?
It's with businesses I have with my mom, so it's proportional to us. With our companies, yeah.
Ms. Owens, I want to give you one more opportunity. The media is here. You know that this case has gone viral. You have an opportunity right now to come clean and start fresh. So I'm going to ask you one final time. You were never pregnant by Clayton Echard, correct?
That is absolutely incorrect.
I never.
Time, Judge.
Time check, 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Redirect when you're ready.
Your Honor, I've got about 3 questions. First of all, Laura, looking at Exhibit A0, are we on my screen? This is the timeline that we talked about before. Can you just go back over that real quick? And does that accurately reflect the testimony you gave earlier regarding your version of the events?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibit A0 under, it's a Rule 1006. It's a summary of testimony.
Your Honor, I would object. I don't believe this is an accurate summary of her testimony today.
That's what the
All right.
findings.
Over objection, the court will receive what's been marked as A30, giving it the weight that it deserves. It doesn't
Okay.
appear to be demonstratively.
Right. Laura, regarding Banner, there was some comment just a minute ago that you didn't produce records from Banner. To your knowledge, did you authorize Mr. Woodnick or his firm to get records from Banner?
Yes,
And looking at Exhibit A1, it's not just a photo of the first page is a photo of something, but can you tell us what the second page here is?
that's from my patient portal, showing that I was positive for Banner.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did Mr. Woodnick actually receive records from Banner? Did he ask for them?
Yes,
And did he get them?
yes,
One final thing. You said before on cross-examination that when you saw that 102 HCG test from October 16th, that you believe that meant you were not pregnant. Do you understand the difference between a viable pregnancy and a non-viable one?
yes,
Do you believe that the 102 number that you got in October 16th of 2023 meant that you were not pregnant at all?
Objection leading.
Sustained.
What was your understanding of that 102 number? What did it mean to you?
that I was still pregnant as it was over 4 was what it said.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay.